Greetings to all Southern Cameroonians. Greetings to Cameroonians as well. I'm King Echu from West Cameroon, also known as Southern Cameroon, which is now called Ambazonia. I got this article from Mimi Mefo's website. The article reads, we took part in the protest because of the juicy reward promised us anti-French protesters, Mimi, in an interview. I don't care about the heading, but the fact is this. There was a protest, and this protest was a reaction to what President Macron said to one of the Bas activists that asked him the question, or that asked him about what is happening inside Southern Cameroon or inside Cameroon, and what must be done, to fix that issue. But the fact is this: there was a protest after President Macron made his statement because, for some reason, over 100 youths had to stage a protest against what President Macron said. And one thing that really baffled me, and I find it very funny, is the fact that the protest was in response to the statement of French President Emmanuel Macron. Some of the banners and placards stated that France has no reason to interfere in an independent Cameroon issue. France has no reason to interfere in an independent Cameroon issue. Cameroonians, French Cameroonians, I'm talking to you now. You are carrying these placards and banners saying that France has no right, no reason, no legitimate reason or authority or privilege, whatever word I want to use right now, use, or influence to interfere with an independent Cameroon. Who gave this independence to Cameroon? Was it not France? What language are you guys speaking in? What language are you guys protesting? Is it not in French language? You are speaking their language. Now I get it, I'm speaking English because I was colonized by British, or Southern Cameroon or West Cameroon was colonized by British. But as Southern Cameroonians, as Ambazonians, we don't want to be controlled by any nation, which is why we want complete liberation from La République du Cameroon, from you guys, East Cameroonians, French Cameroonians. You can't even use your name Cameroon without using French Cameroonians. You guys think that you guys have the right to protest against France? You don't have that right, because everything that is in Cameroon, everything that is in French Africa, is owned by France. Legitimately, you use their currency. They control your resources. What else do France don't control in Cameroon or in French Africa that you protest? 100 people protesting, and the fact is that they were even protesting because they gave them, that they were going to give them some extra juicy reward for protesting. Look at how stupid some of these French Cameroonians are. You guys are going to stage a protest against France that owns Cameroon, that owns French Cameroon. I say owns. They own French Cameroon. They own French Africa. Look at what happened when ECOWAS was trying to create one currency. The president of France, President Macron, interfered to make sure that They don't just sign like that. He's saying that I'm the boss. I control you guys. You guys cannot sign with ECOWAS without my authorization. That's what President Macron said to the French African nation in West Africa. And guess what? They gave in because France controls French Africa. If you guys don't know that, you don't have independence in Cameroon. If you had independence, then you wouldn't be using the currency that is given to you by France. You wouldn't have your resources being controlled by France. So that little stage that you guys are trying to put is useless. You're being used as tools, just like the president of Cameroon is being used like a tool by French government or by France. It just shows how stupid, how foolish, how ignorant French Cameroonian citizens are. You're going to stage a protest against a nation that you speak their language, that you use the currency that they give you. They control your economic currency, the economic sector of Cameroon and of French Africa. Not just Cameroon, but all the French African nations in Africa. They control the resources. So what are you trying to protest against? In order for you to actually have control over that nation called Cameroon, you might have to reconsider, or you might have to consider or reconsider giving up that language called France or French. You might reconsider giving that language called French. That's one way. And that's what Rwanda did. Look at how successful Rwanda is doing. After the war, they decided to get rid of the language called France or French. But you are speaking their dialect, their language, and then you're protesting against France. Is that a protest? Have you seen the protest that is happening in France itself? When the citizens of France decide to protest, have you seen what they do? They beat even the police officers. Is that a protest? That's not a protest. All you guys had was just a stage play. That's not a protest. I don't call that a protest. A protest, you take let me give you a perfect example of a protest. The one that has been happening in France, where the citizens of France have been protesting against the government. That's a protest. It started since last year. And they push it to 2020. You call that charade that you put a protest? That's a joke. President Paul Biya has decided to give you a little bit of gifts to come and protest, and you foolishly, stupidly decide to protest against France. France owns everything in Cameroon. You, the citizens of French Africa, do not own shit in your own country. And you want to protest against France? Please, you got to learn how to protest or what to protest about, because you guys don't know your left from your right. Biya has been in presidency since 1982. Some of you who are even protesting were not born when Biya was president. Who made sure Biya has been in power for that long? France. Who is the one supporting Biya in power? France. France doesn't want Cameroon to split. France does not want Cameroon to split. That's the honest truth. But Southern Cameroonians have decided on their own faith, because you are either the master of your faith, in control, in charge of your own destiny, or somebody else is in charge of your destiny. And Cameroon, or French Cameroon, is in control by France. Not just the president of France, but by France. The citizens of France controls Cameroon, controls all the 15 French African nations. The citizens of France do that. Why do I say the citizens? Any of the citizens can be president, and whoever is the president in France controls French Africa. It's as simple as that. You French Cameroonians do not understand that. And you had the gall to stage this nonsense called a protest. Is that a protest? That's not a protest. That's not a protest at all, French Cameroon. If you want to learn about protests, learn from the citizens of France, what they do when they want to protest against their own government. But you guys don't have the courage, because you can't even feed in French Cameroon. You lack the food to eat. So that's why when Biya decides to give you a little bit of change, you decide to hold a charade, a nonsense called protest. Is that a protest? That's not a protest, French Cameroon. Y'all need to learn that you will have to become the masters of your fate and in control of Cameroon, or just remain the slave of France. That's what you are. That's what all French African nations are. They are slaves to France. That's just the truth. Any president, any person in France can be president. At least any white person in France can be president. I don't think a black person can be president in France. Any white person in France can be president. And whenever they become president, they have the power to control French African nation. That's the truth. Because we don't have an independent. If we were truly independent, then Cameroon would be creating its own currency, and the rest of the French African nations will be creating their own currency. Will be in control of their economic power. They will decide their president, and they will decide to elect their president or elect the president out. Since 1982, Biya's in power, and Biya's in power with the support of France. So France is in control of your destiny. And if you don't decide to see the truth for what it is and stand for the truth and fight for the truth, then shut the hell up and remain slaves, because Southern Cameroonians cannot continue to be slaves to La République du Cameroon and to France. This is King H.U. Till next time.